Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. My name is Nadia Sands. This, of course, is Learn How to Edit Stuff, and today we are taking a deep dive into music, when you should be incorporating it into your workflow, and how to make that music work the best for your edit. We're even going to take a music track, split it up into stems, and then do a remix of it right on our Premiere Pro timeline. Yeah, today's getting crazy. All right, first question. When should you be incorporating music into your workflow? And my answer, immediately. Almost always immediately. If your edit relies on music or any sort of rhythm or anything to get you through what you're watching, you're gonna wanna find that first and foremost. Music is super important for dictating the pace and the vibe and the emotion and the pacing and the breath, and like all that stuff comes from the music track. And if you're not finding that first, you might get stuck into a negative feedback loop and not really sure where to go with the video, and you're gonna get confused. But if you find the music track, that at least gives you a roadmap and a foundation to follow. And that roadmap and foundation isn't just pacing, it's also emotion and feeling and all these other things that you can't quantify, right? That comes from the music. To put it in a slightly less rambly way, a puzzle is much easier to put together when you have a picture on the box to look at. Music is the same way with an edit. Having a music track early not only sets the vibe and the tone and the emotion and the energy and blah, 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 it actually fundamentally changes the way that you work on an edit, in my opinion. For example, let's take a look at this sequence. Okay, after watching that, what are you feeling? Anxious, trouble, mischief, negative feeling, something kind of scary? By the way, all of those feelings are fully dictated by the music track itself. How do I know? Well, I'm teaching this lesson. Here's the exact same footage, but different. Now what emotions do you feel? Is it happy? Is it glee? Is it joyful? Is it warmth? Is it all these things? Yes, of course it is, because the music makes you feel that way. It was the exact same footage with different music. And what I said earlier makes you work on your edit differently. The anxious one was kind of like slower paced and drawn out, and it gives you that feeling of anxiety, where the happy one is a little bit faster cut. It goes with the music, it's bouncy, it's all these things. So the music itself will change the way that you work on your timeline, and that's just a fact. So when it comes to using music for your edits, I do not recommend using copyrighted music. You can get a cease and desist, they could pull it off of YouTube, they can monetize against it, or even worse, they could sue the shit out of you, and you do not want to get sued the shit out of, trust me. What I do recommend for music is a royalty-free music library that you can use safely and effectively across all of your media, all of your social media platforms. You need something that works for everything. Now, as you probably know, there are a decent amount of companies out there that will give you great royalty-free music at a decent price, but in my opinion, ain't nobody doing it better than Epidemic Sound, and I've said that in many other videos. Their website is easy to navigate. The music player and the UI function properly. Their music recommendation algorithm is super on point. Their artists are amazing. Their music quality is very high, but Epidemic Sound has something that none of these other companies have, and that is stems for every single track in their music library. Now, if you don't know what stems are, have never used stems before, they are not the little thing on the top of an apple. Well, they are, those are stems, but music stems basically are the individual elements of a song soloed without any other interference. For example, if you just want the drums, that's a drum stem, bass stem, melody stem. And sometimes they get crazy and sometimes they're simple, but having stems is one of the best things ever. Ian, why is that? Well, going back to what I said earlier in this video, you want to be able to make the music work for you and work for your edit. And there is no deeper customization than being able to like add and remove parts of the song at your whim. That sort of customization and flexibility is the reason why I keep returning to Epidemic Sound over and over and over again. And before we get into the remix demonstration, I'm gonna hit you with a little sales pitch and a sweet deal courtesy of Nadia Sands at Learn How to Edit Stuff. So down in the video description below, you will find a link that will get you 1 free month to Epidemic Sound, and on top of that, you'll get your next 2 months at 50% off. So 3 months total for $15. Guys, This is a deal if I ever heard one in my life. Holy moly. For those 3 months, you will be covered under the license agreement and everything is fine. All the stuff that you use during those 3 months is going to be covered, even if you don't decide to stay with Epidemic Sound at the conclusion of your 3 months, which you should because it's great. You also get access to their sound effects music library, which could be an entirely other video because their sound effects library is massive and huge and awesome. But we're not going to go into it today. Today we're just going to take a look at the music. We're going to do a remix right now. We're getting into the fun stuff. I'm going to show you some crazy in Premiere. We're going to do like side chaining and like stuff that you would do in a normal DAW. I'm going to show you guys how to do it in Premiere using Epidemic Sound music. I'm super excited. Link in the video description below. Open up Adobe Premiere, sign up for Epidemic Sound, drink your coffee, get yourselves prepared because we are getting started right now. All right, Adobe Premiere is open, and in my music folder, I have these stems already downloaded for a song called Wrong Team Pseudo Remix. And today we are going to be doing a pseudo remix of the pseudo remix. Man, we're starting off on fire today. Okay, so when you download stems from Epidemic Sound, they will come in these 4 categories. Bass, which is just the bass. Drums, which is just the drums. Instruments, melody, yada, yada, yada. And it will also give you all of them combined into one track if you decide to use them. So my recommendation, I would put the drums onto audio track 1, the bass onto audio track 2, the instruments onto audio track 3, and the melody, which is the vocals, onto audio track 4. And this will give you full control over all the different parts of the music, and you can kind of mute whatever you want and listen to whatever you want. Here's the vocals, for example. So we're going to do a little remix of this song, and I'm going to show you guys some really cool and intricate things that you probably didn't know that you could do in Adobe Premiere. And if you're still with me, thank you so much. Like, subscribe. I haven't said that yet in this video. Thumbs up, subscribe down below. We're going to learn some really awesome stuff today. You're going to be a music producer inside of Adobe Premiere. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I know that I want to start this remix on the build, which I know is right about here. So let's find the vocal. Right, so oh, there's a light. We're going to start it right there. I'm going to just ripple delete this all the way back to the beginning, and I'm going to trim my bass and my instrument stems all the way over to the drop, which is right here, and then we're going to just kind of fade these drums in. Starting from this kick, add a little fade onto here, and now we are cooking with gas. Listen to what we've got so far. Okay, so right away, I don't like that it says, oh, there's a light right here. I think that there could be a better vocal, and how I know that is because I've listened to this song, and I want to put a better part of me there instead, which is this vocal. So I'm going to just grab this vocal by cutting on either side of it, and then I'm going to line it up with where it goes in time. Right about there. I'm just going to move that over. Nice. Already lining up. I've practiced this. So basically what I want to do is actually use this vocal, and I want to add it underneath every single kick. And then what we're going to do is we're going to kind of pump that vocal with the kick, and that's called side chaining. And I'm going to explain it very poorly probably and very quickly, but basically side chaining is when you take an audio track of any kind and you kind of duck it underneath the kick. So as the kick hits, your vocals kind of duck underneath it because it's making room for the kick frequencies in your overall mix sonically. That's basically what it does. It's made popular by like EDM music. When somebody says like the music is pumping, when stuff pumps, that's just side chaining. So we're going to do that inside of Adobe Premiere. It's going to be really fun. You're going to learn something new, and I'm going to be happy teaching you. So I have this vocal, and the easiest way to kind of copy and paste this vocal is to cut it right where the kick is, and then go to where the next kick is, which is right there. Kind of trim this back, copy this, and then I'm going to turn off audio 1, audio 2, audio 3, and turn on audio 4 and set my audio 1 source to audio 4 so I can just paste this. If you have audio 1 selected up here or something, it'll actually paste it on the wrong track. So if you've ever run into that problem before, that's why. All you have to do is just kind of point it to the right place and it will paste appropriately. So I'm going to paste this vocal underneath all of the kicks, just like so. Looking really good so far. And let's listen to this. Sounds terrible right now, but we're going to make it sound better, I promise. So what we're going to do is double up a couple of these vocals. Just like this, and we're going to double this vocal like that. Copy these. Paste those. Nice. All right, so I know this doesn't seem like much, but it's going to sound incredible, and you're gonna be so proud of yourself. So what I wanna do is start off with the sidechain, because that's arguably the most difficult part of the tutorial. So what I'm gonna do is come over here to Audio Track Mixer, and if you guys don't have Audio Track Mixer as a tab, come up to Window and then go to Audio Track Mixer, which is right there, and then it'll tell you which sequence you're on, sequence 5, and then tool down this little arrow in the top left corner, which will give you kind of like the effect racks for your audio. So we're gonna go to Audio 4, and we're going to add a EQ, parametric equalizer, double click on that guy, bring this low all the way down to about 50 hertz, which is right here, 50 hertz, and then change the filter ramp to be a little bit more aggressive. And that's all you got to do for that. You can close that. And now right underneath Audio 4, there is a little keyframe with a down arrow. And if you guys don't have this, if you hold down Shift and use your mouse wheel, you can expand your audio tracks. You can also just grab the bottom of this and pull it down to make it bigger. But basically, you're looking for this keyframe with the down arrow. Click on that, go to Track Effect Slot 1, Parametric Equalizer, and now these are all attributes that we can manually keyframe in that equalizer. And the one that we're going to use is the low shelf frequency, which is going to allow us to do that nice sidechain and open up room in our mix so that our kick can punch through and we're having fun. So low shelf frequency, go ahead and click on that. And all I want you to do is on every kick, I want you to add a keyframe. Then I want you to go over to the left one keyframe, add a keyframe there, and then go somewhere down towards the end, maybe right down here, add another keyframe. And then that first keyframe right on your audio cut, I just want you to bring that up. You can see the hertz level right there. I'm going to bring it up to about 6,500. Let's go like 7,138.72 exactly. So do that. Right click on that keyframe, go to Bezier, right click on this keyframe and go to Bezier. Basically, we're just making a nice rounded curve on this automation. And I'm going to just mess with this just a little bit, make it a nice little rounded curve situation, looking good right there. And then if we play this, you can hear it ducking underneath the kick, and I should have gone with my gut, and I'm going to turn this down to maybe like 5,600, somewhere in there. So now basically what we're going to do is copy and paste this automation onto every time the kick hits. So click on your first keyframe, hold down Shift, click on your second and your third keyframe, Control-C to copy. Then if you hit the down arrow and the up arrow, it will go to the next cut in your audio on that track that's selected that we did earlier. So this is a nice, easy way for you to do some, repetitive keystrokes where you go to the next edit, you go over to the left one keyframe, and then Control-V to paste. Down, down, left, paste. Down, down, left, paste. There are multiple cuts here, so we're going to have to go down, 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 left, paste. Down, down, left, paste. Down, down, left, paste. Down, down, left, paste. And you're going to just do this for every single kick. I promise it's going to be worth it. Just hang with me just for a minute. Okay, we won't do all of them, but we're just going to do these. So now, if we listen to this, it's going to sound dramatically different. See, it's pumping with the music now. It sounds totally different. Let's bypass this. Let's bypass the EQ and let's listen to it. No. Enable the EQ. Sounds amazing. Amazing. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is add some pitch modulation to these vocals because remixes always do cool pitch modulation with vocals, obviously. So what we're going to have to do is turn off the keyframing. So click on this button again and go to Clip Keyframes. Otherwise, you won't be able to drop any effects on your audio. And the first audio that we're going to do is this little guy right here. We're going to come over to our effects. We are going to search for pitch, and then we're going to drop time and pitch shifter right onto this small vocal here. Effect controls, edit, and then uncheck use appropriate default settings. And we're going to pitch this up 2 semitones. Okay? And then from there, I'm going to copy the pitch shifter, and then I'm going to paste it onto the vocal right next to it. And for this one, we're going to go up to 5 semitones. And then, you guessed it, we're going to copy that onto this guy, and we are going to go down -2 semitones. And then we're going to copy this onto this vocal, and now, if we listen to this, it'll sound dramatically different again. So now you can really start to play with different pitches on those vocals and kind of make it your own and make it unique and do something really cool with it that you otherwise wouldn't have been able to do because you didn't have access to the stems. And with stems, you can take a song that's already a remix and then remix it again if you know what you're doing in Premiere, and you do now because I just showed you some stuff that you probably didn't know existed. Give this video a thumbs up or drop a comment in the comment section below if that's the case, because it probably is. Awesome. So let's keep going. Cool. That sounds amazing. I'm going to delete these and I'm going to highlight all of these guys and hit Shift Control D, which is going to put a little fade onto all of them in between all the vocals just to smooth it out even more. And last but not least, I'm going to come over to the audio track mixer, and underneath our parametric equalizer, I'm going to drop reverb, studio reverb on that track. Double click on that guy. We are going to turn the wet all the way up to, let's go like 80. Turn the wet up to 80. We're going to turn the room size up to about 80 as well, and then turn the decay up, and that's going to give us a nice reverb on our vocal, and I'm going to solo the vocal so you can hear it. You can hear the nice reverb tail at the end of this. Sounds amazing. Let's unsolo this. Let's go to here, and let's listen to our final product, or half of a 1/4 of a final product. You get what I'm saying. Let's listen. Amazing. We did a remix of a remix inside of Adobe Premiere. We didn't use Logic or Ableton or Audacity or Audition or any of the other programs that you use. We used an editing platform, a non-linear editing platform, to do a remix of a song because we had the stems, okay? So Epidemic sound for me wins out almost every time because having those stems gives you the most creative flexibility and the most control over the music for your edits. And if you're still with me, thank you so much for watching all the way through to the end. But back when I said at the beginning of this video, music kind of dictates the tone and the energy and the vibe and the pace and the breath and all of these things. And the most control you can have over all of those elements of your video, you are killing the game. And I want to thank you guys for watching this video. It was a long one. It was a long one. I'm obviously going to edit it down a little bit, but it was pretty long. I'm losing my voice a little bit. It was so long. Anyways, thank you from the bottommost portion of my heart. Again, down in the video description below, you will find a link that will get you 1 free month to Epidemic Sound, plus your next 2 months at 50% off. 3 months, $15 is all you pay. And trust me, you guys are going to be really, really stoked that you entered into this new era of royalty-free music if you're not familiar with the platform already. Super happy for you. Super happy that you heard the information from me. Thank you for watching this video. There's a Linktree link in the video description below where you can find me on social media, find a bunch of stuff like Epidemic Sound down in the Linktree, stuff that I recommend to you guys as video editors and content creators, and things and tools that I use every single day. And that is an absolute true statement. I wouldn't be telling you otherwise if I didn't use it myself literally every day. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.